Hello, I'm Timothy Perfit from Proxidyne, and I'd like to talk to you about your new starter kit. You received your starter kit. It came in a box like this one, and it has everything you need to do to get started. I've laid out all the items that are in the starter kit. I want to go through them one by one and show you how to set them up. The first thing we're going to look at is the Proxidyne Bridge. So the Proxidyne Bridge is kind of the heart of the system. It communicates wirelessly to all your different devices, and then once it detects any kind of input from those sensors, it takes that information and sends it up to the dashboard where you can view it through a standard web browser from any location. When you take out your bridge from the starter kit box, you want to plug it in. So the first thing you do is, as AC power, you plug it into the back of the unit, and then you turn it on. The output, there's going to be announcements that are made from the bridge when the customer presses a button or activates a sensor. And today we'll be talking about using two-way radios to be able to do that output. So it's very simple. We use the headset jack from a business class radio. You take the connection from the back of the bridge and you plug it into the two-way radio. Turn it on medium and make sure it's on the correct channel to broadcast to your associates. Once the bridge started up, it'll make an announcement, and then we'll know we're able to go ahead and start pressing buttons. It takes about 30 to 60 seconds for it to get started. So let's talk a little bit about the different buttons in the starter kit, or different sensors. We have two large buttons, we have two smaller buttons, and then we have an IR sensor. So the IR sensor, we'll start with that. It has the ability to detect dwell, as well as any time a customer passes in front of it. So it's a great way to make an announcement when a customer arrives in your store, or if you want to detect dwell in a certain area so that an associate can go over and help them. And this is all done without any customer interaction. So it's a great sensor to easily put in and collect data, as well as give service to your customers. The next one we'll talk about is our customer survey button. So this one's a great button to be able to get the kind of the pulse of what your customer's experience is. And it can be branded. It's very easy to slide in your own branding, and it communicates wirelessly back to the bridge, so it's very easy to install. And all the customer needs to do is press a button to rate how their service was. So it goes from very satisfied to not satisfied. Normally you wouldn't have an announcement made over the radio, but for this demo I uploaded a announcement for it. So I'll press the very satisfied. Customer very satisfied. And you can see that announcement was made. But the more important thing is that data that they did the press is now available on the dashboard, and you can see in real time what your analytics are. The next thing we'll look at is the small call button. And this one's great to put on self-checkout or onto a cabinet where it has high value, high loss items that you need an associate to be able to unlock. So the customer just walks over and presses the button, and you can see this has this great feature of it has a flashing LED to let the customer know. Cabinet unlock requested. So it requested a cabinet unlock, and then the associate will go over and unlock the cabinet. But when they arrive, they press and hold the button, and you can see if you hold it for 5 seconds, the LED will go off. And once that happens, it actually acknowledges the transaction. Cabinet unlock acknowledged. And so that means that not only did we let other associates know that we've helped that customer, but we've also collected that data. So it's immediately available in your dashboard to see how long that transaction took. The next button that's included in the starter kit is the Cashier Button. This is a great way for a cashier when they're get into an issue where they need to call somebody over. They don't have to stop any of their customer service or attention on the customer. They just simply press a button. For example, if they need change, they press the Change Needed button. Change needed in aisle 1. And we also have, these are customizable, but we also have buttons for alcohol sales if the cashier is a minor price check. And if they want to call a manager over, they just press that button. Manager needed in aisle 1. And the manager would have, of course, the two-way radio with an earpiece, and they would discreetly be able to come over and assist the cashier and the customer. So it's a very efficient and customer-focused way to get that service. Finally, the starter kit includes a large call button, and this is a great way to be able to put signage on it and direct people to if they need assistance. So it gives shoppers the ability to look around, decide when they need help, and when they do, they just press the button. It lights up, acknowledges it. Manager needed in customer service. And so the manager comes over and helps them customer service. Again, this has the optional feature of being able to press and hold it for 5 seconds to acknowledge that transaction. And once that transaction is acknowledged, we'll be able to get the analytics on our dashboard. Customer service desk acknowledged. And all that's done wirelessly back to the bridge and sent up to the dashboard so you can get real-time data of what's happening in your operation. So that's the next thing we're going to look at is the analytics. So for us to do that, let's go over and look at the website for the analytics and see the kind of the output and the analytics from all these sensor data. I've logged into the dashboard, and you can see the first thing that you see is information about the system. You get information about the networking and accessibility to the API page. One of the things I want to focus on is the analytics, but before I do that, I want to quickly show that you can upload your own sounds to associate with those buttons that I was showing you. So you can see here's the satisfied, not satisfied button. So you can do it in WAV or MP3 format. All the devices that we configured are all reconfigurable on the dashboard. So you can see here's our survey button, our the IR sensor, the small button, which is the cabinet assist button, service counter, which is a large button, and finally the cashier button. And if you go into the cashier button, you can see that you can have multiple inputs and multiple sounds for each one of the different types of inputs, or basically buttons. What I really wanted to show you is the analytics. So the dashboard allows you to see analytics across different time periods and across different items on, or different devices on this in this location. So we can see that we have the survey button. There was 31 different events. We have the IR sensor, the cabinet button, all the rest of them that tells you the total number of events. And then you can click on the overview and get the details. You can see here that the number from 719 to 727, there was 35.48% of people were very satisfied, and 45% were very unsatisfied. So you can see that we have the analytics here. We know what buttons pressed in that time period, and then we can get the number of events by hour and by weekday. So you can see that you can have a rich amount of analytics that come out of the device and the venue onto the dashboard. Thanks very much for watching, and please check out Proxidyne.com for the most up-to-date information.